If you have to put someone on a pedestal, put teachers. They are society's heroes. The duties of a teacher are neither few nor small, but they elevate the mind and give energy to the character. The best teachers are those who show you where to look, but don't tell you what to see. Better than 1,000 days of diligent study is one day with a great teacher. Your heart is slightly bigger than the average human heart, but that's because you're a teacher. Teachers can change lives with just the right mix of chalk and challenges. Teaching is the greatest act of optimism. One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. Students, don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. It is not what is poured into a student that counts, but what is planted. Teachers have 3 loves: love of learning, love of learners, and the love of bringing the first 2 loves together. The art of teaching is the art of assisting discovery. Education doesn't just make us smarter, it makes us whole. Teaching kids to count is fine, but teaching them what counts is best. I am indebted to my father for living, but to my teacher for living well. A teacher affects eternity. He can never tell where his influence stops. I like a teacher who gives you something to take home to think about besides homework. I have learned silence from the talkative, toleration from the intolerant, and kindness from the unkind. Yet, strange, I am ungrateful to those teachers. A good teacher can inspire hope, ignite the imagination, and instill a love of learning. A teacher who is attempting to teach without inspiring the pupil with a desire to learn is hammering on cold iron. Good teachers know how to bring out the best in students. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Change is the end result of all true learning. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. The learning process continues until the day you die. Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. Develop a passion for learning. If you do, you will never cease to grow. Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. They know enough who know how to learn. Education is the ability to listen to almost anything without losing your temper or your self-confidence. They cannot stop me. I will get my education if it is in the home, school, or any place. Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. He who opens a school door closes a prison. Education is the ability to meet life situations. Learning starts with failure. The first failure is the beginning of education. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. Education consists mainly of what we have unlearned. If you have to put someone on a pedestal, put teachers. They are society.
Good evening, everybody. Could you please confirm if I'm audible? Could you please put a yes in the chat if I'm audible? All right, thank you. Good evening once again. Thank you all for registering and attending this national level online faculty development program on outcome-based education and application of generative AI in teaching and research, jointly organized by the IQAC of Vasireddy, Venkatadri Institute of Technology, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh, and the IQAC of Siddaganga Institute of Technology, Tumkur, Karnataka, in association with IPSR Solutions Limited. Today, we would like to welcome the resource person, Dr. Sunil Job, Associate Professor and Director, Educational Research and Development, Marine College, Kotikana Autonomous, Chief of Academics, IPSR Solutions Limited. And we would like to welcome all the FDP participants who have joined. Now, about this FDP, this is a one-week FDP program with live timing from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. This is actually our fourth day of the FDP. Now, fee for the LMS access and processing of certificate is rupees 400. All the participants who have paid the processing fee will receive the LMS access, the video recordings for all the days, and permission to download your FDP completion certificate. The procedure for receiving the certificate will be informed to you towards the end of the FDP. If any of you are yet to make the payment, you can make the payment of rupees 400 to the account details that I've already put in the chat. If you are unable to attend any of the live sessions, they will be available in the LMS. Now, we have shared the LMS access details through email to those who have shared the payment proof in WhatsApp till yesterday. Those who have shared the payment proof in WhatsApp today will receive the LMS access details later in the day or by tomorrow. Now, if you have any trouble in attending the WebEx online session, they are also available in the YouTube live link that link I've already put in the chat. Now, my name is Sijin Jacob George. I'm working as Global Relations Manager in IPSR Solutions Limited, and I will be the event moderator. Now, coming on to today's FTP technical session, the session topic is Architecture of OBE and Design of Outcomes. This is going to be delivered by Dr. Sunil Job, KA, Chief of Academic Solutions, IPSR, Chief of, and he's an Associate Professor and Director, Education Research and Development, Marine College, Kotikana Autonomous. Now, Dr. Sunil Job has 30 plus years of experience in teaching and 10 plus years in corporate consultancy. He holds a PhD in mathematical education and has been an associate professor at NG University College of Teacher Education from 1999. He has started his career as assistant professor at Karnataka Training College, Kollam. He has served as visiting team member of NCTE for grant of recognition and a resource person for the affiliation renewal committee of NG University. He is an active blogger in cutting-edge technologies in IT, education, and data science. Dr. Job has published many articles in national journals and authored many academic books and a reference manual in mathematics. He has served as resource person for a number of faculty development programs in outcome-based education, data science, e-learning, etc. Currently, he is serving as associate professor and director, education research and development, Marine College, Kotikana Autonomous, and chief of academics, IPSR Solutions Limited. Over to you, sir.
Am I audible, Sujin?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, very good evening. So, actually, we are in the, I think it's our fourth day. We are in the fourth day of our long journey of, excuse me. Okay. Actually, we have already met in the first day, where in the technical section, we have just drilled detailed into the Bloom's taxonomy, and I have just made it clear that how Bloom's taxonomy will be guiding you through the outcome-based educational process. Not only in the outcome-based educational process, but also if you want to show justice to teaching, because teaching is something which is abstract, right? So if you want to understand the learner in the right sense from their responses, obviously the Bloom's taxonomy will be hand-holding you through the process of teaching and learning. And in the reference of outcome-based education, definitely at all the phases of outcome-based education, Bloom's taxonomy is a must. And I think all these things we have detailed in the section of the first day. And you had some wonderful sections that has common line. Dr. Suresh Nambudiri has given you a very beautiful sections on how you can use AI for triggering your research process, because I have seen many research scholars, because now I'm working at Marine College Kuttikaram as the Director of Medical Research and Development. Obviously, I've seen many of the research scholars are more confused in their way ahead. And obviously, I've seen them mostly with the wrinkled foreheads when they are working with this selection of problems or going through the analytical process, how to preparation of reports, in many cases, or in preparation of a tool, how to make standardizing it, like a lot of things are there. So I think you have got a very clear concept on how AI, generative AI, will take you through this process. And obviously, prompting is something very important because most of the cases, what we put into the prompting is nothing but what we communicate with the generative AI, right? And what we get from this generative AI up to 80% is not useful for us. Actually, it's rubbish. So it is the way in which you prompt that makes it more valuable. So I think Suresh Nambudri has given a beautiful section on that for the second day. And the third day, you had a Canadian experiences of OBE, definitely. That will be very enriching. Because when we are going with any system, it is most important that you have to ascertain what is happening somewhere over the globe. So all these things has given you, I think, a lot of insights into how we can customize our system appropriately in the global standards. So obviously that is also amazing. And today we'll be going into the architecture of outcome-based education. Obviously, it is indeed a primer section too, because when we are going with the outcome-based education, we have to start with the conceptual level. Obviously, that's something very important. Without knowing the concept, if you're going to apply it, it will be just like building something without a very strong foundations. That is, if you are able to take what is the essence of outcome-based education in your heart, definitely you will be able to, with passion. I mentioned heart. It is if you're taking the things, the conceptual framework with wholeheartedly, definitely whatever you do in this line will be outcome-based. So if you are having any confusions regarding, is it the right way that I'm going? It is because you don't conceive the concept really. So that is something very important. If you want to make anything in a realistic frame, you should not have any gap in that conceptual framework. So that's something very, very important. So I think these sections will take you through the conceptual framework and how it is important in this outcome-based education journey. And I think there is no need to make more a weight because now we have got about 100 plus participants in this platform. I think 127 or something like that. And obviously, a few of them are there in the online ends also. So we can go ahead with our today's presentations. As usual, I have got few slides to share with you. I'll be sharing the slide, and I think in order to eliminate the issues that comes of these connectivity issues, I'm just keeping my video off and I share my screen. And obviously here there is a pause failure, but it has been taken through this through an alternative process. So we can just I'll just keep the video closed and pass on to presentation. Okay, Sujin, how is it? Is it visible screen and my sound okay?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So if in any case that if there is any interruptions, please inform me.
Yeah, I'll
so that.
stop you in between.
Okay, so outcome-based education and assessments. Actually, it is all. It will be better to check out what we'll be going to have for today. So this is, I would like to say that this is the menu for us for today. Actually, we will begin this segment with what and why of OBE. Actually, why it is important. Why OBE is important. What is the significance of OBE? Why we are giving that much of priority to OBE? That is something that has to be checked up if we want to put these things in the real way. Then obviously the today's segment will be taking you through the building block of OBE. That is what we can call it as. What is the architecture of OBE? What are the important components that comes in the lines of the architecture? these are the different components that comes in the architecture, like program educational objectives, graduate attribute, PO, PSOs, then outcome course outcomes. So these are the components that comes in the architecture. So some clarity regarding that. Obviously, when we go through the mentoring sections, that is offline mentoring sections that we normally give to the colleges. Obviously, there is a lack of clarity when we come to these components. So that has to be clear, because ultimately, by the end of the outcome-based education, we have to make assessments of the students' performance in this line. So that has to be made clear. And one highlight of today's section is that I'll be just giving you small equations on how to write a learning outcome. So that will be worthwhile. Obviously, you may be having generative AI tools to write the outcomes, but it is important that you have to ascertain whether it is okay. Because in the first section also, I've told that no generative tools or no AI tools is 100% accuracy. Because when we are working with the backend of this deep learning architecture, we used to make a model through this through that architecture, and we will make the model learn through the stuff that we give through. And actually, we will go and try about its accuracy. And obviously, currently the accuracy rate has gone considerably high, but still there is a gap between perfection and accuracy rate that we have of today. So obviously, when we make use of generative AI or whatever thing that you are using, you should have the potential to ensure that whatever that is been given through this tool is right. So that is something very, very important. For that, you have to have you should have the knowledge of what you are doing. So that is important. Obviously, you will be saying, okay, I'll just put the syllabus, I'll get that outcome. But the outcome that is give that it give, is it rightly perfect for my my course or program, whatever it may be. So that is something you have to. That is why in the first section told that you are the master, not the AI. So you should not be a slave of AI. So you have to interact with AI, get out some different divergent thinking will be there. So it is you to customize what is apt for you. That is your task. That is something very, very important also. So for that, you should have the competency. Okay, that's important. So I'll be just giving you a formula on how to write a good outcome. And obviously, this is something very important. That is a quality check of a good outcome. What are the characteristics that you have to ensure to say that your outcome is good? And if any characteristics are not up to the mark, definitely you have to revisit and get it right. Then only, because outcome-based education, obviously, I've told you in the first segment, everything has been steered on the basis of that outcome. So this is something what we are going to have for today. So obviously, this is obviously the basement that you should have while you are traveling through the outcome-based education. So we will begin with what and why of outcome-based education. So actually, this is actually why of OBE. Actually, this is one of the result that I've taken from one of the higher education journal, enhancing university education. Actually, this is a study. This is the result of a study which has been made from this what I could say, a professional college. It's an engineering college, a professional college. This is a study which has been made from a professional college, and this depict the result of a group of students who have completed their professional degree program. So this is the result. So this communicate two things. One, the result of the students after completion of the 4-year this professional degree program. That's it's an engineering program, 4-year professional degree program. And these students are put to an experimental situation by giving them an opportunity to perform some activities which is related to their trade and industry. And this slide depict that scenario. So I want this group to be interactive. So I'm just going to pose a question. What can you say about the result? The result, actually, what is the result? Is it encouraging? The result part only, whether they are passed or failed. Is it encouraging? You can put it in chat. Let me. I have also logged in through my mobile device, so because I will not be able to see chat at this stage, so you can put it in chat. What about the result? What percentage? Is it encouraging? You can put it in chat. I am checking out the chat. Nothing is come. Some results are coming that not encouraging. Actually, I have asked that what is the percentage of the students who have passed? Who have passed? Not encouraging 7%. Okay, okay. You can recheck it. Is it right? Some as 84% has come. Yeah, Dr. Suresh Kumar. Congratulations. He has given 91 percentage. 91 percentage. Why 91 percentage? Because you can see a horizontal line like this. This is the horizontal line. And this is the line of bifurcation between those who have passed and those who have failed. So to the right are the students who have passed the degree program after completion of the 4-year professional degree program without any supply paper. Obviously, that is something very great. That is not only 84 but also 7. These two are the percentage who have traversed, who have covered this level. So the percentage of pass is 91 percentage. So a professional program, engineering program, when we say that 91 percentage is very encouraging, because normally we say that most of the students will be having at least one supply paper. So after completing 4 years, if they have cleared the supply papers and they're passing out with a degree certificate, then definitely the what you could say, the result is encouraging. So we are checking the result in the lines of whether they have passed the exam or failed the exam. That is. But these students is been given, is been made to pass through an experimental situation. What was the experiment which has been given to them? That is, they are the professional students who have been working in the professional platform in their academical colleges, preparing for their professional excellence. So obviously, by the end of the course, they have entered as some student, and by the end, they should leave as professionals. So they have been given with some task which is related to the area of their study and related to the industry. And it is very pathetic to see that only 7% have been able to do the task related to the industry that they have been preparing for the 4 years. And from here, those who have failed, this is the experimental situation that they have made. If you are doing some different experiment, obviously there can be one or two from this also may be able to qualify that. But that experimental situation which has been done by that study, nobody is from this group, failed group is not was able to successfully do the task which is related to the industry, as well as from the past 91 percentage, the 7% of the total are able to complete this task to some extent of satisfaction. So this was the result. This is the experimental result when the past 91 percentage as well as the failed students were given a task. This is an experimental study. So this is pathetic. This is pathetic. Why? Because we are preparing the students for their professional to be successful in their life and career. And obviously, when they're put to a test after completing the program, only 7% were successful. And what is been happening to the rest 93%? The 93% are passing out of the professional program as confused graduates. Obviously, Suresh Nambudiri, he has also made an ethnical study regarding this. So this is a challenge. And obviously, in the previous years, from the news headlines from top players of the industry says that mostly 93% of the students passing out of the professional programs are not employable. If they want to get them employed into their industry, whatever it may be, they have to streamline their competencies to fit into whatever trade that they have been working. So this is an additional training or streamlining of the students is said to be mandatory. And after streamlining, obviously, we can see that there is the student iteration rate is also not student when they get into the professions, they're leaving that professions for getting some skill from here and moving to the other. So these are something which has been seen in the industry. So this is a fallacy of the educational system. So because our educational system is giving priority to what? This x-axis. We are giving priority to the x-axis. What does this x-axis means? The syllabus is being completed, covered, examination is being done, and their success is being decided whether to pass, qualify or not. So we are giving priority. Why didn't they able to complete the professional program? Isn't it? They are given it. They are given with a task. They are given with a task related to the area of their study. But why do they? Why are not they able to be successful? It is because they lack the competency and skill sets which is essential for them for successfully to be successful in their life and career. So our this is the bottleneck of our academical program. We are just stuffing them with some content, and we are not giving life to the content. Giving life means we are not taking them to the higher order in the application level. We are not testing them with respect to how they are able to apply their knowledge in real-time situations, rather than we are just giving them some lower order exercises so that we are evaluating them only on that basis of this, isn't it? So if they want to be successful, they have to be academical sound, but also, I repeat, but also we have to ensure a set of competencies that make them successful in life and career. So academical inputs alone will not make them successful. We have to equip with them a set of competencies that make them successful in their life and career. So we could see that here they are not able to do, up to here they are not able to do something related to the profession. That is 93%, only this. So what is the significance of outcome-based education in this scenario? So I will say that outcome-based education is a approach which is trying to push this red area. Red area means they have passed, but they are not job fit. They want, so outcome-based education is an attempt to push this red area and this blue area into this green area. That is the focus of outcome-based education. For that, what is essential? We need the academical, the domain knowledge is important. The domain knowledge is important. Together with the domain knowledge, the outcome-based education is been giving a new axis, which is the axis of different competencies, like different competencies in the sense like creative thinking, problem solving, communication skills. All these skills together, when it is clubbed with the domain knowledge, will make them successful. That is what outcome-based education is doing. We will be putting PO, PSO, all these things and making all the framework, etc. You should think why. This answer will make all your activities purposeful, because otherwise what happens is that we will mechanically do with some PO, PSO, we'll mechanically feed some informations and everything will be mechanical. And the thing is that your outcome-based education will not have the soul. Will not have the soul. It will not have the vitality of life. If you want to bring life to your outcome-based education, definitely you have to breathe life into your outcome-based education, and the breath of this breathing life into the outcome-based education is nothing but you should understand what is the essence of outcome-based education and why it stands for. So outcome-based education, I don't think that there is any better slide or better study that could give a very purposeful intentions into the outcome-based education. So here in an outcome-based education, traditionally we were going through these what you could say horizontal axis and say you are successful. But outcome-based education do not either want to go directly through the y-axis. It want to take you through this in this way, slanting, isn't it? It want to make them equip them with academics together with the competencies so that they will be pushed into this green area where they have academical soundness and competencies to meet the challenges of life and career. That is the essence of outcome-based education. So taking this into your mind, you can just read what is outcome-based education. If you're finding difficulty to read, you can just read what I have written it in red. That is, I will read it completely and emphasize what is given in the red. That is, outcome-based education is a model of education. It's an educational approach that deviates from traditional focus. What was the traditional focus? We are giving more emphasis on academics rather than giving more emphasis on how to apply these academics competencies to be making them successful in their life and career. We are not giving. So it's a shift from traditional focus on what the institution provide to the students in favor of making them demonstrate that they are able to know and able to do. Two things are clubbed together. Okay, you can just put your thoughts into the previous slide. X-axis is the academical inputs, their domain knowledge, what they're able to know, and y-axis is what they're able to do. So they have to be integrated, blended in a right blend, and make them more productive, authentic, and what you could say, a productive professional when they move out of the your college. You have to ensure it. So outcome-based education is an assurance of learning that you are making them fit to meet the challenges of life and career through the educational stuff that you are giving. So we are just giving more emphasis to exams. Actually, our traditional examinations, actually that are silent killer, I would say that. Our traditional examination system, giving some stuff, then evaluating them through written examination, you are killing the students' learning. The normal way, the traditional way, is a silent killer of learning, isn't it? So that is the greatest injustice our system is giving to the students. When the students are diverting full time for their to become productive professionals and citizens, and they're passing out and they're finding it difficult to meet the challenges of life, then why they are wasting the time? So this is what outcome-based education emphasizes. They want to make them productive. Obviously, so this is something important. I told that too. If you want to breathe life into what you're doing, you should conceive these things in the right sense, not something. Okay, or put something into the generative way. You get outcomes. So that won't give. That don't have the life. These things has to be taken first, and then go with all these. OBE based, actually, these are the four principles that OBE is based on. The clarity of focus. Actually, we are predefining it. What the students are able to do in clear verbal statement. And obviously, by the end of the class, or by the end of the course, or by the end of the program, they should be able to do that. So everything is clear. That is, if you're going for a travel, you will ensure that I have to reach there. So if you are planning to go to Delhi, then definitely all your routes will be directed to reach Delhi, isn't it? If you are if you are planning to go to Hyderabad, okay, by this time I have to reach Hyderabad. Then definitely all your activities, the way, all the route that you take will be directing you to reach that particular destination in the right time. So that gives clarity of focus. That is, outcome-based education could be considered as an approach of eliminating wasteful effort from your teaching learning effort. Because by the end of the class, I want to ensure that the students should be able to do such and such thing, topical learning outcome. So I will be focusing everything, constructively aligning everything for reaching. So it gives more clarity to your work. And designing down means we are putting the end first, and planning is being taken backward. Okay, I was talking to you about a travel. Suppose if I want to reach to Delhi, I'm staying at Cochin. So obviously, if I want to go to Delhi, I want to take the flight at 10 o'clock. Okay, so that is what ultimately I have to reach there. If I want to get the flight at 10 o'clock, I want to check it at least 9 o'clock. So I have to reach the airport at 9 o'clock. My residence is about 1 hour distance from there. So if I want to reach there at 9, I have to take the cab at least 8 o'clock. But normally, Ernakulam is a place where there is a lot of possibility of traffic block. So I have to take some additional concentrations so that at least 15 minutes early I have to leave. So I have to leave at 7:45. If I want to leave at 7:45, what is that? I have to just go and book my cab, at least Uber or whatever service that I'm having at 7:30. So you can see what is my end. I have to leave from Cochin by 10. So I am designing my activities from the end point. So this is how in outcome-based education, by the end of the class, the students should be able to do such and such things. So in order to ensure that, in order to reach that particular destination, what should I have to, what all activities I have to plan so that this end is covered. So everything is been coming from top to down. So designing, and obviously high expectations and expanded opportunities. I think if you are remembering this, the first days, the slides which I have shown to you, that the remark of Bloom, that is, anybody can learn. Anybody can learn if they are provided with the right prior and current condition. We have been justifying that the learning is a roadmap which goes from simple to complex, and there is a continuum. The learning happens in a continuum from the basic level of remembering, understanding, application, applying, like that. So that is something is there. So if you're giving them the right prerequisite and the current knowledge, definitely learning will happen. So obviously, when we go with these sections to the different colleges, normally said that, sir, our college is normally coming. Most of the students that comes to our college is from rural rural background and very backward. So they are not able to bring all these things to the higher end. They are finding it difficulty. That is the biggest ignorance that we say. Everybody has got the ability to learn. As well as to come to the higher end, that is the higher end of learning into the analytical higher levels. The thing is that if you are, because we are normally keeping the students in in a comfortable state, in a comfort zones. If you're putting them really, if you we want to put them into the challenging situations, then only they will be able to tackle with the real-time issues and the different challenges that they have to face in the different professional platforms. They have to experience it. That is why we say about experiential learning, internship, experiential learning. We have to break this learning dilemmas through problem-solving abilities. So these are the things we are often talking about. So these things will not. Suppose if you want to make a knife sharp, we have to put it through rough edges, isn't it? We want to polish it. We want to make it sharp through the rough edges. So your curriculum should take the students to the rough edges in the sense that problem solving, ensure them to tackle the problems, problematic situations, real-time experiences, not just a comfortable, just small knowledge, asking the same questions, etc. So this is the normal practice that we have seen many times. So high expectations has been given to the students. Expose them to the challenging situations so that they will enhance their ability to meet the challenges. If they are if you are fondling the students in comfort zones, they will not be able to be successful in life. The students who are successful in life are those students who are who are taken through the authentic learning situations, so that they let them understand the challenges of life, understand the issues, and about the responsibilities that they have to be there. So all these things, so our teaching learning environment have to be restructured in that way, and expanded opportunities. Obviously, that is FIUGP. We know that there are multi learning paths are there. This multidisciplinary expanded opportunities should be given to the students. So all these things are the part and parcel of the outcome-based education. So this is a very remarkable statement regarding outcome-based education. You can just read it and just make a thought for yourself. What is it meant in an outcome-based education? We have been discussing about that outcome-based education should ensure the competencies together with the domain knowledge. But this is something very important. What is it? What will my students do out there? What is that out? In the real world of family, work, and community. These are the places where the students or any person, when they pass out of the educational platform, they have to be a responsible member of the family. They have to be a responsible member of the professional platform or the work that they're doing, and they have to be a responsible member of the community. These are the three spaces where the students interact. Okay, so what the students do out there as a result of what we do in here in classroom. So this is to be connected. So whatever thing that we give through the what we could as a form of the curriculum should be a slice of what they have to experiences in their working platform, in the industry, in the society, in the community. That is why we say that we've put a number of competencies like working with the working with the group, leadership quality. Then, if we want to be have to be the work with the community, then this ethics is important. Social accountability. All these things are something which is essential for. So we are preparing a y-axis, a set of competencies which should be pulled out from the social scenario where they have to perform. So whatever competencies is essential to be successful in their professional platform, to be successful in the community life, to be a complete living aims in the sense to be a successful member of the family, shouldering the responsibility. So all these things, competencies should come as a part of the education. So that is something very important. So if you are stuffing it with competencies, these competencies should be socially significant. That is why the outcome-based education at the formulation stage is that all these things should be decided from, all the POs should be decided from, not only from the vision and mission of the college, but it should come from the stakeholders. So the outcome-based education insists to have a constant rapport with the stakeholders, so that whatever you give in here should be a slice of whatever the students have to encounter out there. So in here and out there, they should be bridged. You have to listen a gap between in here means the curriculum that you give to the students in the colleges, and out there is when they go out of their what you could say out of the college in the real living platform, what they have to experience. There should be a rapport between them. So all the competencies, the y-axis that you have preparing the students should be realistic in this sense. So this is something very, very important. All these things has to be ensured. So we should not be a mechanical teacher, isn't it? Just stuffing them with some knowledge. We have to be an exceptional teacher who inspires them, giving them opportunity to not pouring something, giving them opportunity to explore the possibilities of their domain knowledge in the way that they appear in the real life situations. This we can call it in a simple word: authentic learning. Authentic learning. So outcome-based education is something that takes the learning from the traditional platform to authentic learning. That is applying that knowledge of the domain in the realistic scenario, and also not only learning, assessing them how they are able to perform in this platform. So this is the change that has been going out there. Obviously, in the section by Thomas Varghese, he's been there working with this Canadian, heading the Canadian institution. So his use cases, why they have included this use cases is that we have to be global. We have to think global. What is the thing which has been happening there? So this is something very, very important. And okay, this is some. Now I'm just going to ask you something. This is a paradigm shift. I was talking about traditional system and contemporary educational system, the system that we are the outcome-based education and the different our current practices. So what we are looking out for. So what is the paradigm shift that you can find in that contemporary system? You can put it in chat. Always hearing to me be boring. So let me hear it to you also. I am looking at chat. What is the difference? The first image, that which is in the left side, is a traditional scholar. It is a traditional scholar, not the professor. Traditional scholar. And what you see in the right side is the contemporary educational system. So, what is the difference? Yeah, Rati has given wholesome life. Okay, you can just answer. Don't worry. This is we are sharing some information. Work-life balance. Okay, yeah, Rati, you are wonderful. You are giving right things. Then obviously, others, please respond. I will get energy only from your response. Otherwise, if you are not responding, that means that only one way there is that will make me real-time learning is there. The one person is there only with a book, and there that person is having a multiple hands working with a number of things. Yeah, very good, doctor. What is that, Pavan? Very good. Multitasking is need of the contemporary. Yeah, yeah. Then okay, thank you, Rati. Okay, because when I'm interacting, we are in the virtual platform at different destinations, but we should, if there is a personal space for us to communicate, that will make me an energy to communicate more things. Multitasking and time management, multitasking, very good answers. Multidimensionals, yeah, very good, very good, very good. So I'm happy. And so here we could say that here this scholar is passing only through the x-axis where more priority has been given to academics. But here, in the contemporary system, the scholar should be multitaskers. Multitasking in the sense you should be have thorough knowledge about the domain knowledge should be there. At the same time, okay, you can see a bulb here. You should have creative thinking ability. You should have problem solving ability. You should have time management skills. You should be able to evaluate what is right and what is wrong. You should have the ability to use modern communication systems, technological soundness. Technology in the sense we know that in our personal in the life space as well as in the workspace, a lot of technological enhancement has been happening, not happening, exploding. So you should have the ability to keep a rapport. So this is what our educational system, the contemporary educational system or the OBE emphasizes. That is why they have to get equipped with the multi skills. They have to get equipped with the multi skills. So that is the change which has been happening, and we are looking forward to make our educational system more successful and productive. uh, actually, I've shared a joke. Actually, while I was taking a segment, I just asked the same question because this was the same slide which has been using in that scenario. So there was a funny answer that, sir, in the first in the traditional system, that guy is not wearing a specs, and in the contemporary system, this man is using a specs. So that is one notable. So even if it is a joke, I appreciated it. I loved it. So it's for a fun that I've just communicated. I was just because these answers comes to our mind when we go through these slides. So that's why I shared it with you. So this is the architecture of outcome-based education. Okay, obviously you would have seen this many times. That is, when we say that a system has been functioning in the lines of outcome-based education, definitely there will be a vision and mission, because every institution will have some priorities. They will be having a vision as well as the mission is how the modus of their operandi. So whatever they do will be in lines of that. Because when we go with the what you say this NAC accreditation and all, we could see that this vision and mission will be highlighted in every main locations of the college. It will be highlighted so that by looking at that, they should be able to know what is the modus of operandi, what are the college giving priority. So vision and mission is something very important, and that is something that will decide. So obviously every college will be having vision and mission, and there you can see that two pillar at both ends, right? One I have written development. What I meant is that development of the if the development of the curriculum, if you want to develop the curriculum in the lines of outcome-based education, you have to design from top to down. That is what in the second principle. First is clarity of focus, and second was designing down. So it should come down. Down in the sense what? That is, we will be explaining. So you can note it. This is an arrow which is coming down, designing down. And assessment is something that should come together with outcome-based education. By the end of the program, you have to assess whether the student have attained the outcome that you have planned initially. So it should be assessed from bottom to top. That is, assessment should happen from bottom to top in the sense that is, we have assessing the students' performance right from every minute activities you are giving to the students, like giving them a seminar, giving them a field trip, giving them an opportunity to create a portfolio assessment. Then obviously through the written examinations, likewise, all the small things that you are giving the assessment. On the basis of the assessment, we will be assessing the CO level attainment and then going up. Because I didn't mention about CO, that is why. So this has to go from top to from bottom to top. So that is one thing that you have to evident. Keep it. If you want to formulate it, go from top to down, and if you want to make assessment, go from bottom to top. So that will be made clear when I say here in an outcome-based education, everything is being prioritized on the basis of only one man is there, which is odd. That is program educational objective. You can only see one objective here, and others are outcome, program specific outcome, course level outcomes, and below, if you're going down again, topic level outcomes. All the outcomes are there, and in the midst of the outcome, only one odd man. That is the program educational objective. What is program educational objective? So I told that if you want to formulate the curriculum, you have to go from top to down. So how it is been happening? Because first, every college should have, every institution will have an vision and mission, and then they have to set a educational educational objectives. The educational objectives are nothing but the immediate goals of your educational program. Because before planning a syllabus, first thing that you have to formulate is that what should be the goal of this program. Goal means not distant goal, immediate goal. Immediately when they pass out, what is the students where they have to get into. So what is the educational goal? So the program educational objectives are nothing but the immediate goals of the program, isn't it? So you have to formulate the goals. That is, the goal will be within when the student pass out of the educational institutions. The first few years, the major influence of their personality will be decided from what they have got from the college. And later, about the 20 years, they will be developing multiple abilities from the different sources and experiences. So, while formulating program educational objectives, within first few years, what the student should be capable of doing, whether they have to get into a job, whether they have to go for higher education, how they have to interact with the society. All these things are the major educational goals that we have to prioritize. So, uh, so these goals should be considered by consulting with the stakeholders. So the goal should not be prepared by our own expertise. We have to make consultation, get feedback from the society, different stakeholders, industry, and on the basis of the stakeholders as well as the vision and mission, we have to write down. We have to formulate the goals, immediate goals of the education. These are program objectives. And what is this? This is the most important thing. That is, if one of our goal is to equip them for a career. So if you want to equip them for a career, what are the competencies that you have to ensure in the students? So these are nothing but a set of competencies and the set of knowledge you have to ensure in the students while they pass out. I mentioned a set of competencies, a set of attitudes, and set of knowledge that you have to ensure in the students. And this should be connected with what? Your educational goals. So first thing, you are formulating the educational goals. And if the students have to realize these educational goals, what are the competencies that you have to equip them? What are the takeaways that you have to give to the students from your college while they are leaving? And these takeaways should be related to the educational goals. So while you are planning, first formulate educational goals. In the lines of educational goals, identify the different competencies that make them successful with respect to the educational goals. That is nothing but the graduate attribute. What all graduate attributes are nothing but a set of competencies that you have to ensure in the students while they pass out as graduate. And these competencies should be connected with our educational goals. So this is the connection from top to down. And how are these educational goals actualized? They are actualized through our curriculum. Curriculum includes the subjects that you're teaching, the different activities that you give as a part of the educational program. These set of activities as well as the syllabus that you are giving to the students, that is the curriculum. And this curriculum will be streamlined so that by the end of the program, the student should have actualized it. So from where do these COs course, the different courses that you are giving, about 30 to 40 courses will be given to the students while as a part of the program. So these courses should be streamlined with respect to the different competencies that you have. So that is why this is coming from top to down. So formulation of curriculum is being done according to our second principle, designing down. That is, the top is program educational goals. From the educational goals, you have identifying the different competencies that is essential to make the educational goal successful, and how to actualize these competencies. What are the subjects you have to teach? What are the activities you have to give for the actualizations? That is from top to down coming. And by end, what you have to ensure? Whether the students are attained the graduate attributes that you have identified for every program, isn't it? So by the end of the program, you have to ensure that whether they have attained these graduate attributes. So how to ensure? You have to estimate it. The estimation is nothing but the calculation of the attainment. So by the end of the program, you have to calculate to what level that these graduate attributes are attained. I am using only the term graduate attributes. These graduate attributes, when it is written in the form of an outcome, we call it as program outcome. Suppose if I say the graduate attribute, communication skill. Communication skill is a bunch of competencies. What are the competencies? Ability to read, ability to write, ability to comprehend. Then the knowledge about vocabularies, the ability to negotiate, ability to communicate through the modern platforms, ability to make official correspondence. All these things are the part and parcel of communication skill. You're only mentioning one thing, communication skill. So communication skill is a combination of multiple competencies. So you will call the communication skill as a graduate attribute. And when will this graduate attribute come into an outcome? Outcome means what the students are capable of doing. So through communication skill, what the students are capable of doing. Isn't it? If you are writing that, that is, the students should be able to apply their to what you could write or all these things together. That is, the students are capable of able to read, write, communicate, negotiate, use modern tool for. So all these things, what the students are capable of doing, you're writing in terms of verbal statement. In what all state? In what all context? What all context? In their life situations, in their working platform, and in the community. So, so that will make the graduate attribute into a program outcome. So, graduate attribute, when you are expressing, writing it verbally in the form of what the students are capable of doing with respect to those set of competencies mentioned in the graduate attribute, it will say it as program outcomes. Normally, what I've seen, that a lot of confusions are there. So this is graduate attribute, this is program outcomes. Program outcomes is the seed word. Graduate attribute is a seed word. The seed, when it is put into the form of what it is capable of doing, then we will call it as a program outcome. So you can put it in the form of a paragraph on what the students are capable of doing. So that is what. So graduate attributes written in the form of an outcome, program outcomes, and program specific outcomes are they are too safe, because suppose if it's a commerce student, if it is a literature students, if it is a science students, all these students should have some common graduate attribute. Like everybody should have the communication skill. Everybody should have the ability to work together in team. So all these things are something common, which we call it as program outcome. That is the common graduate attribute, the general graduate attribute. But a science student should have some specific related to the science, specific with related to literature, specific with so all these things, which is explicitly for that particular program of study, we call it as program specific outcomes. So suppose if it is engineering students, okay, they will be having this technical knowledge with respect to the computer science, with respect to mechanical. But all these things will have some general attribute in the form of what? Ethics, environment, sustainability, ethical values, and environmental sustainability, communication skill. All these things are something general they should. So that is why the program outcomes. So whatever it may be, I repeat, whatever it may be, the program outcomes are the set of what could we say? The set of knowledge, skills, and attitude the students should have when they pass out. So competencies can be in the form of skill. The competencies can be in the form of domain knowledge. The competency should be in the form of attitude they should develop. So what the students, that is, they are the set of competencies which can be in the form of knowledge, attitude, or skills when they pass out of the college. That is nothing but the program outcomes. And outcome-based education says that when they move out, the program outcomes should be met. Nobody should leave out without actualizing the program outcome. So that do not mean that 100% attainment, we cannot say. So they are putting a benchmark, at least 60% level should be attained. And that 60% we call it as target. Normal confusion is there. So what is target? What is program outcome? Is there different outcomes of different target? A lot of confusions are there. The target is the minimum pass level of the attainment, minimum attainment level of the program outcomes. If they have attained 60%, if you're setting the target 60%, if the student passed, we can say that they have attained. If it is 70%, okay, then. So I'm not going into deep at this stage. So this is program. And these program outcomes are the end outcomes of the program, and they are attained through different courses, because in every semester you'll be having 5 to 6 courses, and every courses will be having because when we say it's outcome-based education, we have to formulate in the form of outcomes, isn't it? So if you want to attain while you're leaving, we have to assess the students on the basis of program outcomes. The assessment are not made directly. They are assessed in terms of the performance of the students with respect to the different courses. So the course level outcomes will be estimated, and on the basis of the course level outcomes, the program outcomes will be calculated. So that is why it is going from top to down. So how these course level outcomes are estimated? You will be giving tests, you will be giving semester end exams, you will be giving assignments, you will be giving seminars, you will be giving field trip. Likewise, a number of activities will be given. So first level, you are calculating the attainment of the students with respect to that particular activity. On the basis of that, we'll be calculating CO level attainment. And with respect to the scores of CO level attainment, we'll be calculating program level attainment. So you can see the arrow going from bottom to top. In the upcoming sections, Dr. Mendels and his team will be detailing on how this attainment should be calculated. Now, I have given more explanations at the first phase regarding the architecture. So in the architecture, we have analyzed there is program, educational objective, program outcome, and program specific outcome, and COs. So little more analysis on that is been made in the subsequent slides. So what is program educational objectives? This is the only odd man in the program OBE scenario. They are nothing but that immediate goal. So you can read it. What is that? They are the broad statement that focuses on what the students are expected to attain. Objectives are futuristic. When they pass out, they are expected to get into a profession, work in the career platform, or they can move out as an entrepreneur. They have to live in and with the society. So social accountability. They have to lead a complete life, family life. So all these things are something very important. So while preparing an educational goals, isn't it? What is this? They may go for higher education. They may move out as a professional. They may go as an entrepreneur. They have to live with the society. They have to be a responsible person who are living with the physical environment. Environmental sustainability values should be attained. All these things are the goals. So as a teacher, there is no need for us to sit and calculate these goals. This will be done from the institutional part. So when the institution is formulating educational goals, they have to keep a constant rapport with the stakeholders, society, and on the basis of that, they will be preparing these educational goals. Isn't it? They are the broad goals that focus on what the students are expected to attain. And obviously, I've just given, to make it clear, some educational goals, isn't it? What is that? So the graduate will be able to demonstrate the competencies and leadership to become professional. He can be a professional working for a company. Employee, entrepreneur, should be working with some startups and capable of giving the job for leading career and pursuing higher education. So this is obviously for the graduation, undergraduation programs and post-graduation. This will be one important focus, isn't it? because they have to prepare them for an employment, either employment rather a career, either as an employee or a professional or as an entrepreneur or whatever it may be. So career is important. Or sometimes they may be interested to make higher education. So that can be one. Then graduate will demonstrate commitment towards the preservation of environment and sustainable development of the society, because they have to live in and with the society, as well as they have to interact with that environment. So they should develop a sustainable values in them. So that is likewise, you have to set educational goals. So it will be done from the institutional point of view. That is every program. So what are the goals, educational goals that we prioritize? I've taken the first goal. So we are designing down. We are formulating, designing down. I've taken the first goal. First goal is what? Equipping them to become a professional. Equipping them for a career. That is something very important. Okay, so I'm taking this one. The graduate will be able to demonstrate competency and leadership to become a professional. Suppose if it is an MBA program, or whatever it may be. If you want to equip them to be a professional, obviously domain knowledge is needed. First slide, if you are remembering, domain knowledge, x-axis is needed. What are the y-axis? What are the competencies you have to ensure in the students? What are the competencies? Competencies are nothing but the graduate attribute. So you can put it in chat. Suppose if you want to make them successful in a career, what are the different competencies you need? Put it in chat. Domain knowledge obviously is important. What are the other competencies that you want to ensure in the students? Okay, management skills are there. Time, ethics. Okay, very good, very good. You have all good. Time management skill, apply the real time challenges. Obviously, communication skill, very good, very good. Neha, very good communication skills. Okay, okay. So you are going along with me. I'm very happy. Soft skills, very, very, very good, very good. So these are something very, very important. Not only the education is not just communicating them with some knowledge is not the complete education, isn't it? So when we are taking this, suppose if this is the educational, this is the first our educational objective. I will rather say educational objective, program educational objective. If you want to actualize this, if the students have to actualize this, we have to equip them. What are the graduate attributes that you have to equip them? You have given very beautiful thing: communication skills, problem solving ability, soft skills, like that. A number of things you have to ensure. So these skills, we call it as graduate attributes, isn't it? Very good, you have given. So these are the graduate attributes, which is been suggested by UGC, not mandatorily you have to include this. UGC didn't say that. But if you're going with the technical education, NBA, they have given some standardized, globally standardized 12 program outcomes. Globally standardized in the sense it has been accepted globally at the Washington Accord. All the countries who have signed Washington Accord, we also signed. So they have to introduce that outcomes as the standard outcomes for their professional engineering programs. But for the other arts and science programs, the UGC has suggested that disciplinary knowledge is important, communication skill. You have showcased it: communication skill, critical thinking ability, problem solving ability, analytical reasoning, like that. It is just like a buffet. And you can include more also relevant to your. So this should be selected by the who? College level. So they are not blindfoldly selecting it. This should be selected on the basis of the educational goals that you have given importance. On the basis of these educational goals, what are the competencies that you have to ensure in the students so that they can actualize these goals? These are the graduate attributes. And this graduate attribute, when they are written verbally in the form of a statement in terms of what the students are capable of doing, it becomes program outcome. That is it. So this connection should be clear. Graduate attribute, program outcomes, they are not different. The graduate attributes, when they are written in terms of what the students are capable of doing by actualizing this program. Graduate attribute, what they're capable of doing is a program outcome. And we know that in an outcome-based education, we will fix what the end first, isn't it? When they're entering into the college for a program, this end, what they're capable of doing when they leave the college will be fixed first, and all the syllabus will be constructively aligned so that by the end, this should be attained. That is the program outcome. So just giving a verbal statement for the program outcomes, just for making a completion of that. The program outcomes, two things are there: program outcomes and program specific outcomes. Now I think you got it clear. The program outcomes are something which is common to all the students, irrespective of their program. Like literature students, then science students, management students, or computer students, whatever it may be. What all competencies that all the students should commonly have, like problem solving ability, critical thinking, all these things are some generic things. So this is program outcomes and something related to their subject. We can call it as program specific. So so that refers to whatever it may be. The program outcomes will be in the form of knowledge. It will be in the form of skills. It will be in the form of attitude. Have you seen it before? The knowledge, skills, and attitudes. In the Bloom's taxonomy, we told that the student change in three areas. One, intellectual, which has been nurtured by knowledge. Then they will make change in the lines of attitude, and they will make change in the lines of how they perform some activities. So actually, all these things are interconnected. They are not something. So these things, ultimately, the program outcomes will be either in the form of knowledge that they have to ensure. It should be in the form of skills like communication skills, problem solving ability, or it could be in the form of attitude like environmental sustainability values, ethics. All these things are the attitude you have to cherish. So these are the program outcomes in a very simple term. The program outcomes are nothing but the knowledge, the skills, the attitude every scholar should ensure while they live. And this knowledge, attitude, and skill, from the first slide, I have shown that we are not either moving horizontally, we are not either moving vertically. We are going in a inclined way, isn't it? Ensuring both the knowledge, skills, and attitude so that they become successful. That is what, that is ensured. That is the program. And program specific outcomes are something which is related to the special area of study. Suppose if the management students, they have to be more capable in organizing project management, all these things. If it is technical students, they should have the ability of computing, etc. So these are something additional with the general they have to attain. So now we have got a clarity on the graduate attributes, or I will say it both as a graduate attribute or a PO. Both are is conceptually the same. So when they leave the program, they have to be equipped with these graduate attributes. So obviously, the attainment means that is we have to calculate, because while we know that when the students leave the program, we will be calculating the scholastic ability and giving them a mark list. What does the mark list shows? What is the level of attainment of the students with respect to their subject domain knowledge? So while we are going with an outcome-based education, that will sustain, that will be there. Together with that, we have to compute what is the level of attainment with respect to the competencies. The competencies, we are showcasing it in terms of graduate attribute of POs. So these are the different POs, a list of POs, a dummy POs that I have showcased here: domain knowledge, communication competence, proficiency in using modern knowledge, reflective responses to ethical issues, directed. So these are the actually the POs, the graduate attribute at the college which I am working, that is Marine College. So this is the graduate attributes. And by the end of the program, you have to make the attainment calculation of these graduate attributes. From where do we make these graduate attributes attained? Through the different courses and activities. So the performance with respect to the courses and activities has to be calculated first, and on the basis of this performance, we'll be calculating these POs. And these POs are calculated with respect to, this is a 4-point scale which ranges from 0 to 3. So what is their level of attainment with respect to the scale from 0 to 3? So maximum it is 3. So domain knowledge 2.3, not bad. Communication skill 1.8, about 60% is there. Okay, so this is the sample attainment of graduate attribute by a student who qualify a program. Qualify a program means who passed what is their PO level attainment. So that do not mean that every student should not. It is that is, if you want to say that, okay, with respect to the domain knowledge, how they have made the benchmark attainment. If you are putting the benchmark as here, if you are putting the benchmark as 50%, those who have completed 50%, we can say that they have attained. Okay, we can set the benchmark. That benchmark that you give for the these PO is nothing but the target. These are the technical terms that we normally use. And here I have set the benchmark at 3 levels. Every student should attain at least 50%. So they have, if they have completed 50%, I will say that they have moderately attained. If they have attained more than 70%, I will say that they have attained it at a higher level. So if you think that making the comparisons in a numerical form is odd, you can give the grade like this. If this is 70%, 70% needs a mark of 2.4. 2.4. If it is 3, okay, 100%. If it is 0.3 less, it is 90%. Isn't it? If it is 70%, it is not 2.4, it is 80. 2.1. 2.1 and above is 70%. 1.5 and above. 1.5 is 50%, because maximum is 3. So here we can say that this is high level performance. Okay, because it is high, more than 2.1. So 2.1 is one benchmark for high level performance. Okay, this is not reached a high level performance, but it has qualified 1.5. So you can present it in the form of a heat map by giving colors. And if it is below 1.5, it is underachieved, isn't it? So you can make your assessment in this way. And the ideal thing is that if you are able to be in such a way, normally what we do at this point of time is that we will document it and keep it for our knowledge, whether the students have considerably attained, what is the level of attainment, etc., so as to reframe our structure, our curriculum periodically. So that is important. But if you're able to give it to the students, this will be a biggest attainment of your college. Why? In the sense that these are nothing but you are assessing the students for 4 years, and this will be just like an authentic profile you give to the students, isn't it? If you are giving a profile, creating a profile, you will be writing about what are your strengths, your abilities, etc. will be showcased in the profile. And this is something you are giving as a certificate. So this will be a bigger thing for the student if they're taking it to the to an employer. Okay, if they say, suppose if an employer is looking for a marketing executive or a marketing manager, one important thing is that he should have a very good communication skill. So if you're giving a communication skill as 2.8 out of 3, it will be very high. Obviously, it will be very high. The employer will be very happy to be appointing him. And the thing is that when you come to some activities, when they're giving some activities, if this person is not been able to write a single statement errorless, or he is not been able to make any correspondence, Or even if you write a sentence, there will be, if there are 10 mistakes, then what will be the effect? That will backfire not on the student but on the college. So this is something very important, because a assessment tool, the most important thing is that it should be valid. Validity means it should assess what it intends to measure. Suppose if you are going to a grocery shop and buying 1 kilo sugar, and you're coming home, and if you're weighing it, if it is only 600 grams, what is that? Then you will never go to that grocer, isn't it? So a measuring tool should be accurate, reliable, and valid. So it is not when we assure, because if your assessment practices which is happening in the college, if it is valid, if it is matured, definitely you can give this to the student together with the marks. So this will be very just to ensure it. We are coming, first we have mentioned about program educational objectives. From the program educational objectives, we have identified what are program outcomes, and coming to the next level, that is the course. Because your program outcomes are measured how? Through the different courses that you give in the semester, isn't it? For example, suppose if it is a 4-year program, there will be about 8 semesters will be there. And each semester, obviously, they will be having multiple courses in the form of majors and minors, whatever it may be, courses are there, isn't it? So each course should be aligned with respect to the program outcomes that you have visualized at the beginning of the program, isn't it? The program outcomes are something which has been visualized at the beginning of the program, ensuring that if you complete the program from our college, it is 100% sure that you will attain all these levels. So, and these are attained how? Through the courses. So courses are nothing but the tools in the hands of the educators to prepare the students in the lines of the program outcomes. Okay, so obviously we know that if you are preparing it in the real sense, all the courses that you are entertaining into the courses will be in lines of the program outcomes. And when we say outcome-based education, there also we have to enumerate, we have to approach each course in the lines of outcome-based. So how can you ensure that? If you're giving a course, Introduction to Computer, the first thing is that we have to ensure, we have to identify, if I teach this course, this program, what the students are capable of doing. So you will ask a question to yourself, what the students are capable of doing when I complete the courses. These are the content of the courses. Definitely you will be getting some answers. These answers you are putting in the form of an outcome. That is what program outcome. This course outcomes. So after about 6 months of that is your interaction with respect to the students in the lines of the course outcomes, obviously the students should be able to actualize what you have planned it in the first stage. So all the activities will be constructively aligned to reach the course outcomes. So all the courses that you included in the as a part of the program should be executed in the lines of the outcome based. And how it is executed, you have to first capitalize what are the outcomes with respect to each course, and identify a course design. Identify a course design that takes the students to the outcome by the end of the course. So that is how it has to be identified. So course outcomes are just a, what you could say, that program outcome is macro level. This is a micro level, isn't it? The course outcome is a subset of the program outcomes, or a micro level of the program outcomes, isn't it? So what course outcome ensures that what the students are capable of doing after completing that course. Program outcomes say after completing the entire program, what they are capable of doing. So a course outcome is. So obviously, if there are 5 courses in one semester, obviously then for the 1 year there will be 10, and for this for a program, there will be about 40 courses will be there with a number of outcomes. So here something in red is there. CO are the major, what you could say, domain specific. Domain specific in the sense, it is subject. Is it a domain related subject, which is written using action verb, which are specific, measurable, and demonstrate. This is something very important. So while preparing a course outcome, it is mandatory that there should be a action verb which depict what the students are capable of doing at that course level outcome. And this action verb, we will be getting it from what? Bloom's taxonomy. So this is something very important. If you want to write a course outcome, a good quality course outcome, which depict what the students are capable of doing by teaching that particular subject, definitely the knowledge about Bloom's taxonomy is a must. So that course outcome will be written. The action verb for the course outcome will be identified from the Bloom's taxonomy level. So that is important. And the most important thing is that it should be presented in the way that it is observable and measurable. So that is something very important. And here is I told that the highlight of this section is that we will be going through a formula for writing a course outcome. So here, this is, I will not say that, we will be bringing from the most minute thing. How to write an outcome, first we will be identifying. And from that formula, we will be elaborating it to a course level. And further, we can elaborate it to a program level. So this is a formula that could be used for writing a outcome. Suppose if you are going to teach a topic, okay, there, if it is in an outcome-based education, you should identify what is the outcome. So in an outcome-based education, outcome is the hero, isn't it? So you have to identify, if I'm going to teach for about 1 hour class, what is the outcome? After completing the class, what the participants or the students are capable of doing should be identified first, and my pedagogy should be streamlined to actual extent. So if it is a course, I have to identify, after completing the entire course, what the students should be capable of doing. Identify it, streamlining it, constructively aligning it. So in a PO, in a outcome-based scenario, the outcome leads. The outcome is the limelight that leads. So when the outcome leads, no wasteful attempt will come into your teaching learning environment. So actually, outcome-based education is an attempt to remove waste from the curriculum. That is, unnecessary things could be eliminated so that curriculum becomes more productive, which streamline the students to a successful life and career. So that's something significant. So coming back, for writing a general outcome, you can just view from the base. An outcome should have two components. I am going to write an outcome not from the top level, from the bottom level. That is, suppose if I am going to teach a topic, I have first one of my class was we were discussing about Bloom's taxonomy. In that class, my outcome is that I want to apply Bloom's taxonomy. That is, I want my participants to apply the Bloom's taxonomy to frame questions. So by the end of the class, what is essential? You should be able to apply Bloom's taxonomy to frame questions. So what is there? One, apply means, what is the level? Third level, apply Bloom's taxonomy and frame questions from your subject. So that outcome has got, first one is that the Bloom's action verb is apply. And what is the learning statement? Bloom's taxonomy is the learning component. And what is the context in your subject? So an outcome has got two things. I'm handling one paper in operational research. Obviously, operational research often deals with optimization techniques. So what the outcome which I have formulated is that appraise. Appraise is what level? It is evaluation level, isn't it? Our remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, and then evaluating. So appraise is a higher level. So what is the outcome that I have formulated for my course? That is, my students should be able to evaluate. What appraise? What appraise? So action verb. Action verb signifies what? To what level I am taking the students in the learning ladder. Obviously, we have mentioned about learning ladder in the first case. So by looking at the outcome, I'll be able to identify that your class is taking the students to a higher order, fifth level. Okay, very good, like that. So outcome should contain action verb, which is taken from Bloom's taxonomy. The second is that it should contain what? Learning statement. That is, what is the topic that you are handling in order to take the students. So the learning statement should be significant. What is the learning statement? Optimization technique is the area that I am teaching. So optimization technique signifies the learning statement. So putting it together, appraisal means effectiveness. Appraise means judging something. What to judge? Effectiveness. Effectiveness of the different optimization technique. So I have teaching the students about optimization technique, how to formulate it, how to apply the optimization technique. So the student should be able to judge the effectiveness in this context. Which optimization technique is the best to use? So identify it, evaluate the different optimization technique, and judge which is the best optimization technique that is appropriate for this situation. See, so that is a very higher level, not just to formulate a problem and solve. That is only an application level. I want to take the student, which is the best situation, optimization, whether it is linear programming or integer programming or dynamic programming, which is the best in this context. So appraise in the industry. So I delimited it. I don't want it in a large scale. So I am giving the scenarios to the students from the industrial use case, not from life or any other things. So putting it together, the context will give the scenario, isn't it? The scenario of optimization technique. Putting it together on completion of my topic, not topic, the course, the student should be able to evaluate or appraise the effectiveness of optimization technique. This is the topic that I am teaching, and I am delimiting it in an industrial scenario. So together, it has become a good. So this is the outcome. Appraise the effectiveness of the optimization technique in the industry. It is not mandatory to put a context. I can mention it even without a context, isn't it? Appraise the effectiveness of optimization technique. That will be very generic, very large. So I just delimited it to the scenario of industry. So this is how you can write an outcome. So to figure it out, an outcome should contain action verb, which is in lines of Bloom's taxonomy. This action verb should be observable and measurable. Effectiveness, something related to the learning subject and context. So this is how you can write that. So normally I used to give them. So I'm just asking you to. I will not ask you to put it in chat. Just write a learning outcome, just for a topic, isn't it? This is the learning outcome at a grassroots level. This learning outcome you can elaborate it to both course level and program level. Program level, there is no need for you to do because that will be prepared from the college level. So you can just identify any topic that you're going to teach. For example, democracy, or if it is a science teacher, okay, you are going to teach Ohm's law. Or if you are a philosophy teacher, okay, I'm going to teach idealism or Marxism or whatever it may. You can take a topic before going into the class. Obviously, first thing that you have to do is that write an outcome. So while writing an outcome, you will be asking a question: what the students are capable of doing after I take the topic. isn't it? Suppose you are just introducing a topic. The students may be, you are expecting the students only to explain the things. So the outcome will be, okay, explaining, isn't it? Or you're teaching Ohm's law. You want, after completing the first level, you may be interested them to explain what is Ohm's law, or to state what is Ohm's law. Or you may be giving them to some circuit scenario where you want them to calculate resistance. So apply Ohm's law and prepare something like that. So what is that? You can prepare. I'm not going to make you to put it in chat. You can prepare it, and then after that, you can evaluate it from the first next slide. Just write it. So while okay, you write it, I can just add something to you. So we know that when we teach some topic, how do we evaluate? How do we check whether the student have understood it? We give them a question. The question is nothing but a stimulus to which the student responds. Stimulus, isn't it? So by identifying whether they have attained or what you have taught, whether they have understood it, whether they are able to do it, will be assessed on the basis of assessments are nothing but you are giving them a scenario and gauging their performance, gauging their level of performance and identifying to what level they have attained. So you are expecting them to perform something. So you will be giving them some task or some questions on the lines of this is what you are expecting them to do. In an outcome-based education, what you're doing is that you are taking that, your expectations to the front level and say that by the end, they have to reach. So if you are taking it, thinking it divergently, you will see that both the outcome, especially this course level outcome, and the questions that you prepare for the students to evaluate whether they have attained such and such things will have the same format. And what I would like to say that an outcome is a glorified question when it comes to that CO level, isn't it? You are assessing the students whether they are capable of doing by giving them some questions. These questions, that is the end point that you're checking the students whether they are attained. So these questions, if you are putting it in the first level and ensuring that they are able to answer this question, that is in a simple term outcome-based education, because you want to ensure whether they are attained by terms of questions. And this question format, you are taking it to the initial phase. That will be the structure of that outcome. So the question as well as the outcome will have a same format. In the question also, you try to implant what? Bloom's taxonomy levels. In the outcome also, you can identify. So both of them will have a same thing. And when you come with this one, this mapping, if you want to map an activity with respect to an outcome, what we do is that your question will have an action verb. Outcome also will have an action verb. And we'll be comparing this action verb. If both the action verb are at the same level, barabar, then we can say that they're strongly addressing. If the action verb is down, if the outcomes action verb is at K3 level and the questions action verb is at K2 level, we say that it is moderately. If the outcomes action level is K3 level and you're putting only a recall level question, that is very less. So that will be discussed when you come in the later classes. So I just given you some inputs and giving you some time to write the outcome. Now you can check whether the outcomes is whether your outcome is satisfactorily written. So you have to read it carefully, right? It is a good practice, not a wrong practice. Normally, when we go with this, they say that, oh, sir has told that not to put understand, appreciate in writing outcome. It is a good practice. I repeat, it is a good practice to avoid these verbs while writing an outcome. Because an outcome, because the father of outcome-based education is Paddy. In his original book, he has very specifically said that the outcome should be measurable, observable and measurable. So if you are writing understanding, is it does it show what the students are capable of doing? Is it observable? The students understand, they will wave their head, isn't it? It is not showcasing what the students are able of doing. So in understanding K2 level, if you write explain, you are giving that verb what the students are capable of doing, isn't it? So outcomes should depict what the students are capable of doing. And still I say that it is not wrong, but if possible, if you are getting a better verb that show what the students are capable of doing, that will be better, isn't it? Appreciate, isn't it? So when they appreciate what they are able to, they will be comparing. So you can put it in that way, isn't it? Comprehend, learn, all these things can be removed for making the outcome visible. And I will say that you are teaching a topic level outcome and course level outcomes, you are measuring it directly. But you are not measuring a program level outcome directly, because the CO level attainment is calculated first. Excuse me. And from on the basis of the CO level attainment only, you are calculating what? Program level outcome. So program level outcomes, you are not directly calculating. So while writing program level outcome, you can use all these things, no issues. But when you come down, that is what you are measuring directly. So if you want to measure it directly, definitely you can use those outcomes which are observable. And just giving you a comparison. Suppose if I'm teaching a topic of democracy, and what outcome that I would like to the students, that the students will understand democracy. Students will understand democracy. So I want to make them understand democracy. That is what I'm looking for. But does this outcome depict what the students are capable of doing? Understand is just a noun type. It is not showing what the students are capable of doing. So if I write that, if they understand, they'll be able to describe the major theories of democracy. Compare these two. Here, this very clearly says that what the students are capable of doing after my classes on democracy. This is not answering what. So this itself is an indicator. Whether they are able to describe it, okay, they have attained. So the outcome that you write should reflect what the students are capable of doing. So it will serve the purpose of an indicator whether they have attained. The students will study about the impact of cultural diversity on nursing care, for this nursing care. This is an outcome. But does it reflect what the students are capable of doing rightly? Is it the students will study about the impact? They will study, okay, they will study. But after studying, what they're capable of doing? Here, students are evaluate the impact of cultural diversity on nursing. They are able to evaluate the impact. So this is the way of writing outcome. So outcome should be measurable and observable. You can give them a test whether they are able to evaluate it. And it is very well written in that outcome. So this is how you have to, because this is what writing outcome. You have to, you can put it to the ChatGPT, they will say that. But that thing, you have to reframe it, whether your outcome is. So we will be concluding this with the one more slide, that is the quality check of a good outcome. So obviously now I don't think that there is any college without any this outcome already formulated. So these are the 4 quality check of a good outcome. The first thing is that you have to, are they written using an action verb to specify definite and observable behavior? Definite and observable behavior. Why did we say that it is not a good practice to use? Isn't it? Understanding. Because it is not observable. Understanding. appreciate. All these things are learn, cover, etc. All these things are little objective specific. Objective specific. It is not depicting what the students are capable of doing. So that is why we have given you the first class on Bloom's taxonomy, writing an outcome, how to figure out a verb that will substantiate the level of learning. And if you want to make mapping, obviously, if you want to make an activity map to an outcome, what is the level of the activity, what is the level of outcome, which you can make it clear by the levels, isn't it? And if you want to frame questions, so that is why Bloom's taxonomy is that important. That is why we have to give it. So first, are they written with the appropriate action verbs? Then, does the language describes the target rather than student's target rather than the teacher's behavior? That is, this itself is the comparison between objective is teacher's behavior, isn't it? What is my objective? Okay, I want to cover the syllabus to make the students learn. But outcome is the same thing, viewing from the student's point of view, what the students are capable of doing. So when you read an outcome statement, and if it clearly defines what the students are capable of doing, very good. That is a good outcome. So one, whether there is an action verb. Two, what the students are capable of doing should be highlighted. Three, do the outcome clearly describe the abilities, knowledge, and value the students of the, because these are the three things. If the value, it is related to the what I could say, this affective domain, ability or skill, and knowledge. These are the three components. These are the pillars of learning, actually. So this is in the previous slide. I've told that outcome should have two components. One, action verb, which is covered here, and this is the learning statement. Knowledge means the learning statement. So suppose if you are writing a course level outcome, obviously the outcome verb should be there, and it should be clubbed with the learning activity that you are giving. Suppose you are teaching OBS law, okay, then that OBS law should be there in that outcome, isn't it? So that should be there, learning statement. And in the previous slide, I have mentioned three things. One, action verb. Two, learning statement. Three, context, isn't it? Appraise the effectiveness of optimization technique. Context is ideally limited to the industrial use case, isn't it? So that could be a good combination for writing outcome. And next is it possible to collect accurate and reliable data for the outcome? So when you are going with an outcome-based education, the most important thing is that formative evaluation. Formative evaluation is that you're fixing an outcome, then and there you should be able to ensure whether the students are going. So how to ensure it? Isn't it? Whether this outcome that you have measured, you have identified is measurable each and every stage. Maybe through a question, or through an observation, or through an activity like that. Through what activity you will be able to measure, that should be ensured. So the outcome, what is the indicator? You should be able to identify the indicator. Indicator can be you are just giving a question. Question can be the indicator whether that outcome is, or you can just give an activity whether they are able to do, isn't it? Or whether you can just give a topic for them. So to substantiate. So what activity will ensure that outcome? That indicator should be there, isn't it? The indicator is something that ensures. So if all these quality for criteria is there, then you can say that the outcome is a good outcome. So this is an example that obviously what is written in red is what the action verb, and which is from the Bloom's taxonomy. And what is this? So for writing a course level outcome, you know the format of writing the outcome. You can just ask the question to yourself, isn't it? Because sometimes your course will be put either in by different modules or units. Take one unit, ask the question, what the students are capable of doing while completing the first module. You will be getting an answer. You can put it in the form of a comprehensive statement that depicts what they're capable of doing together with the action verb, capable of doing action verb together with the learning statement, and if in any context the significant, that also could be. So that is one way, that is module wise deliberations. Or you can take the entire syllabus, if the syllabus as a whole, after completing the full course syllabus, what the capable of students are capable of doing, you will be getting multiple answers. Reframe the answers in the form of outcome. So that is writing the outcome in a longitudinal way or cross-sectional way, anything which is compactable. And mostly I've seen that the faculties been writing outcomes from a cross-sectional way. Take one module, ask a question, right? So the advantage is that if you're putting a question from that particular module, it will be related to advantage if you're writing it in that way. There is no what you could restriction that you have to write outcome in a longitudinal way or a cross-sectional way, that you can have your own choice. So this is the way of writing an outcome. So the outcomes general format, I have said it like this. And if you want to broaden it to a course level, ask the question like this, and you will be getting an answer, reframe that answer into. And it is a good practice normally to restrict the outcome to course level outcome to 5 or 6. But I've seen some colleges, not recently, very big colleges who has been having very high ranks in the NIRF. When I've just visited some their portals, I've seen some colleges putting about 15 to 16, 20, 25 outcomes. It is, you have to comprehend it. Maybe these outcomes will be redundant, or you can, so your ability is to comprehend it and make it an optimum now, because you have to sit and estimate all these outcomes. Then you have to map it with the respective POs, and then you have to, the entire process will become complicated. So it is better to restrict outcomes to 5, 6, or something like that, maximum 7, something. So these are some of the outcomes you want. This is apply. Apply means you are, because this will able to analyze to what level you are taking the students in the learning ladder. Application means you are taking them to K4 level. The students will be able to apply what? Hooke's law, the law of Hooke's law, to compute the different types of stress. Isn't it? In a commerce, it's in the preliminary class. I'm taking them only to K2 level. Explain the various principles of organization. A combination of what? Both action verb as well as the learning statement. Okay. So nursing, evaluate. I'm taking them to a very higher level. What? The safety and efficacy of the drug classes. So that is, they are taking them to a higher level using different medicines. What is the safety and efficacy of the drug classes? So they can evaluate it with respect to the patients. If the patients are prone to some diseases, what drugs will be effective? So that will be a higher level. So okay. So this will evaluate to what they are capable of doing through your classes. So that is what we have to, and we have got. I think you will be having a. I think an Excel sheet. I didn't find it. Actually, I've made it for myself. It is an automated sheet, but this sheet will show you. This is the task that we have to do. You will be having outcomes already there for the syllabus. You can have this sheet. I think what is the Excel sheet? Anyhow, this is the this here. The first outcome here. Suppose if you are which course, the course title, the program name, the discipline, etc. Then suppose if the introduction to computer, obviously you can write what are the outcomes are here, and you can make a quality check. What are the 4 things? I've written it. Are they written with an action verb? So you can check whether the action verb is observable or generic. Second, whether on reading that outcome, do you feel that that outcome depict what the students are capable of doing? Then it's okay. Then you can put yes or a yes mark or no here. Do the outcome clearly describe the expected abilities, whether there is a learning statement, because the expected abilities will be normally in the form of the learning statement, whether the learning part also define also, explain the principles, nursing care. These are the learning statement, whether learning statement is been very beautifully attached. And is it possible to collect accurate evidence for the attainment of outcomes. So you have to identify. How will you know whether giving them a small test or a situational test or a question or by observations can you able to do? If okay, you can put it there. So if all the 4 criteria is met, then definitely it is a good outcome. So you can consolidate it. If with respect to CO1, what is CO1 here? The first, if all the 4 are met, all the 4 criteria is S, definitely what is the percentage? What is the percentage here? Quality percentage, 100%. So 1 quality is 25%. If 3 quality points are met, 75%. So so you can, for all the outcomes, what is the quality percentage that you have estimated? So it could be very easily calculated. If 4 S is there, 100%. 3 yes and 1 no, okay, it is only 75%. If 2 yes and 2 no, it is 50%. And whether you need an improvement. Anything less than 100 is not a good outcome. You need improvement. So rework on that, and you can modify it. So this is the as a task which we have for this. And there is an Excel sheet, which is an automated sheet. There, I think if you enter it yes or no, the other answers will be automatically will come there. So this is the task that we will be doing for this, and so so thank you for this segment, and we can go to if you have any doubt clearance, we can take it. So going back to Sijan, it's over to you if there is any issue. I'm just stopping the sharing.
All right, I think now we can have the Q&A session. If you have any questions to Dr. Sunil Jobsar, you can pass it in the chat and we will take it up.
There was a question that if a higher order thinking level question can be asked in the first year level. Actually, the level will be decided on the work that is, if your higher order means if you're giving an analytical scenario, if you're able to give an analytical scenario with respect to the topic, that is an higher level. So higher level is not dependent upon the spiral arrangement of the curriculum. Even if it is in the foundation course, if it is decided on the basis of what cognitive challenge you are giving to the learner. If you are giving an analytical level cognitive challenge, definitely it is an higher order, isn't it? Suppose if you are giving an evaluation like scenario, it is an higher order. So whatever be the topic, there is immaterial. What cognitive challenge that your question brings to the learner is significant. So you cannot cut the Bloom's taxonomy with respect to, okay, in the first year, I only take this. That is not. What cognitive challenge that learning piece or experience bring to the learner is the judging value, whether it is higher order or not. So you can go it with that. Is it not ironical that the student-centered OBE, the students are not responsible for the outcome? It has just become another exercise for the teachers. No, actually, the thing is that make your activities in an authentic format. So definitely the students will love doing, because when you are able to identify value for what you give. So you can identify value to what you give is on the basis of how you are able to connect it with the real-time scenarios. And you can use this generative AI tools to identify in what all areas that you are able to connect it and make it realize. Normally, what I've seen in many of the classes, that the teachers are giving more priority to fill the students with a lot of concept, lot of energy, and telling that, sir, our syllabus will not happen. Now we are going with the blended learning. There is no need for us to go and elaborate the content to the students. Beautiful videos are available there in the YouTube and in the different learning platforms. A lot of beautiful videos are available, which which present the things in a more better way than we do. There are virtual reality scenarios are there to make the things very clear. So we are putting a lot of energy to put them into fill them with a concept. That's something I have to change. The most important thing is that you can give them an intervention about these are the things which is significant. Give them some link for the videos and ask them to prepare. And then the classes, before coming to the classes, when the students get to the classes, you should give them a scenario to check whether they have viewed it, or whether they have made some or whether they have having some doubts. You can make it clear, and your duty there is to connect this, develop some activities and learning experiences to make these learning experiences into an authentic form. Some real-time use cases should be there, and these use cases should be also used as a frame for evaluating the student's performance. This is how it has to change. The traditional things have to change there. So we are putting all our effort to explain things, explaining and re-explaining, obviously. You can give them an opportunity to make them learn by themselves through some videos, and there is a lot of support systems available. And then what we have to do is that let the classroom be a platform where a lot of exercises should happen, where they are able to identify some use cases wherever possible. Not every subject will not be equally potential for that, wherever possible. It is not quite okay. Why can't we use comprehend as an action verb? Okay, these action verb comprehend is something which is related to understanding. Understanding, comprehend, to summarize, all these things are same. So don't get stick with these words and verbs. You just think about what it stands for, isn't it? Normally, I've seen such thoughts often comes. Don't get hooked with these verbs. What it stands, that is something important. So okay. So if a question is mapped to PO3, does it means that the mapping in detail will be there in the next section? So it is not proper for me to give more details. Since I've mentioned that action verb, just mentioned that mapping. So detailed section is there to follow. So that is there. For each CO, PO mapping will be same even if two different faculty handle the, obviously, because two, even if the two faculty handle that, because the faculty is immaterial, because they are someone who are facilitating it, isn't it? So it is most important is that if two faculties are handling one thing, get together, because here collaboration is most important. Try to identify the most highest level that you can take the students with respect to that particular courses that you're handling, isn't it? It is not necessary that an introductory course you take the students to an create level. No, depending upon the possibility only, identify. Okay. Obviously, it is. You would have heard about a saying is that that is that is a poor teacher tells a you can check that, and an exceptional teacher inspires. So actually, the teacher is the one who should inspire the students, make them drive the things by their own. Actually, there is a proverb that Chinese proverb that if you give a fish to a hungry person, he will be satisfied with that particular time. But the most important is that teach them fishing so that he will be self-sufficient his lifetime. That is it. That is make the students, inspire them, give them guidance, and let them take their way. Then only they can become a lifelong learner, isn't it? So that is important. Inspiring. That's a word. obviously, activities, the curriculum as well as co-curricular activities can be integrated. Definitely, definitely. Yeah, this is what. Who is this? Rahul Ramesh. Thank you. This is what I was trying to recollect. My memory is a little weak. Yeah? Medical teacher tells. A good teacher explains. A superior teacher demonstrates. And a great teacher, yeah, try to be a great teacher. Isn't it? It is a William Arthur. Actually, I was thinking about that, but I didn't recollect it. Thank you once again, Rahul. Thank you very much. I was thinking about that. I didn't get that statement. So I just only know that inspiring. Thank you. Okay, I think this is something you have to capitalize. And I would rather say that this OBE is not something that put pressure on teacher. It is a directional thing. The OBE approach is directing the teacher and the students to the end goal. When the end goal is there, it is a means for eliminating the wasteful attempt from the teaching learning environment. So reduction of waste, making the teaching learning productive so that you can streamline the students to the desired goal through authentic. So that is something that OBE focuses. So if you're taking it in that sense, this will be something very, very good, enjoyable. You will love it. So thank you. I enjoyed being with you. Yeah, directional. That is the right word that I would, because you don't put on more pressure about, okay, I used this word for the outcome. No, it is a directional thing. It is a directional thing, taking the students to the end. By the end of the course, they should be able to do what you have showcased as program outcomes. By the end of the course, they should be able to do what they have showcased as course outcomes. That is it. So it is directing you where to reach and to eliminate unwanted waste. That's it. Nothing more. So you can enjoy learning this. The thing is that conceptualize it. If you're taking it into your these concepts, if you're taking it into your that is wholeheartedly, definitely whatever you do is it will be outcome based. There is no need for an external approval whether this is right, because you have taken the life of outcome into you. So outcome based approach, if you're taking it wholeheartedly, then whatever you do in the lines will be like that. Thank you. So thank you all. I enjoyed being with you. So there is more beautiful section to come. So have a great learning and have a very good implementation of outcome-based education. Really, I enjoyed it. So
All right,
thank you all.
yeah.
Okay, Sujit.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sunil Jobsar. Thank you for that wonderful session. We'll have our next session on Monday. We don't have a session tomorrow. Our next session is on Monday, and the topic will be mapping of outcomes, calculation of attainment and analytical reports, AI-assisted assessments. It will be delivered by Dr. Mendes Jacob. So see you on Monday. Thank you, and have a good weekend. Thank you all.